Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another episode of From Setbacks to Success. You think it's possible to get back on track or to be successful once again after having an injury like that? And if so,
Absolutely.
okay, absolutely, no doubt. I knew you wasn't going to say anything different.
Uh-huh.
And my follow-up to that question is, if so, how?
Like I said, I further just want to thank you again for letting me, get my word out and help touch some people, and maybe we can be able to, wake some people up, or push some people, and or motivate others so that they can get out there and turn a lot of their can'ts into their cans.
Yes.
And in the response to your question, that right there, you know what I'm saying, I dang near wrapped it up just in that saying, nobody feel they should be held back by any injury, you know what I'm saying, any setback. If you still getting up, you still waking up from sleep and you able to reach the next day, you should always feel that there's something out there for you to accomplish.
Okay. All right.
So what happened, that's just it. Saying I woke up and I started finding another way, even though I'm touching. So now I'm touching more people. I'm saying, and that's what I say to others. You should never feel that there's nothing you can't do, nothing you can't accomplish. And if it's difficult doing it one way, there's obviously another way you need to work on. And the individual has to find that. And that's why I recommend to focus on that, work on what you can do. Don't focus so much on what you can't do.
Yes.
And if you're working on what you can do, you will eventually do more and more. And before that thing that you felt was impossible to do, you find yourself getting them same goals accomplished through a different angle.
All right, that's what's up, man. I knew you was gonna bring it, man, and that's exactly what we
Yes,
want here on this platform, From Setbacks to Success. Is how do you get back from experiencing some of life's most difficult and challenging obstacles that we get presented with in life in terms of your story, it's yourself, because I know from seeing some of the social media footage out there on you back in the, I guess maybe we'll say in your 20s, early 20s, man, you was fit and fabulous. That was, if I'm saying this correct.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
man. And so take me back to that time period. Were you a personal trainer at that point? I mean, because again, and we'll show some of your pictures early right here at this point in the podcast, just kind of the type of the shape and conditioning you were in. But yeah, rewind a little bit and take me back to that place. How old were you when and what even got you into fitness to begin with?
Fitness came around to me. I've been training since I've been what 20 years old. It's just that it's something I always enjoyed doing, working out, like being in the gym. Then come to find out, others always seem to ask me, and hey, how can I get to this goal? Man, how can I be able to get my physique like this? Or you dig what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I'm like, it looks like I can be able to do what I like to do, and not only have a gainful employment, but enjoy helping others,
Yes.
which I've always enjoyed to do, inspire to reach their next level. And so I found that I could do this through the gym, researched it a little bit, got certified with the ISSA, and then International Sports Science Association.
Okay.
And then from there, it just took off, man. One-on-one training, online training, vacation training, resort training, home training. I don't care where it was. If we be able to get down, we get down there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Gotcha. That's what's up. That's what's
Yes,
up.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
not only were you getting results for yourself, you were getting results for the people, your clients, and people that came into your arena. And again, so this is your this teens to early 20s, and then take us
But
a little
more early 20s. And
more early.
I'm 52 now.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've
Gotcha.
been training ever since all through the years.
All right.
I've been some shape, fashion, form. I've been a personal trainer,
Okay.
and there's not too many states I haven't trained in
Oh,
because
really?
I got
Okay.
around a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the thing about my career is that you can pick up and go. You're not situated. You don't have to be so. It doesn't keep you. It doesn't keep you where locked into one place, one city.
Got you.
That's something. This, I mean, especially if you online training,
Got
you
you.
know,
Got you.
that wasn't something I focused on. I like hands-on, one-on-one.
Right.
But I can say of clients that were online, obviously recently now, especially with my accident, I have much more online, but I still dibble and dabble with my one-on-one.
With your
Yeah,
one-on-one clients. Got
yes,
you.
sir.
And so again, back in these the early 20s where you were doing this, did you find it to be lucrative personal training at that point? And if so, kind of what was that like then? Like I mean, were you I would imagine were you a full-time trainer, or how did from a financial point of view, how did that look like during that time period?
With training, it's always been lucrative. It's always been gainful. I've always been able to make enough money to pay bills, not only pay bills, save and enjoy life.
Okay.
So with that, relative speaking to then versus now, it's always been lucrative for me
Okay.
because I've pretty much always been at the top of my profession. I never accepted much less would be able to have me and have me able to own my business, own my home, own a couple of rides, save, invest a little bit here, and basically be able to enjoy my life.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, so
Yeah.
and that's all, and it's still very much the same way.
Yeah, a lot of the people that I follow on YouTube, and I mean, just the people that I've known throughout the years that I've always known guys, and well, it mostly was men at that time that found a way to do extremely well in fitness, particularly if they just brought the level of commitment to what they were doing and getting their clients and getting them the results that they need. And so yeah, I've seen that over the years, and even now to this degree. I mean, the fitness industry is just such a seem. I mean, it's millionaires,
Blown up
multimillion.
exponentially. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. It's gone to a whole different level now, and it's just
And like you said,
amazing.
not
Just
even males, females as well now. Women,
that's
men and women. It's like, man,
That's right. And so seven-figure status is just quite a accomplishable goal. And then I've just
so very much
yeah,
so.
and tied into people who are gym owners and these things. I mean, they can have 8, 9 figure type of goals in this particular space. So it's a very big space and very big industry, and so that's kind of what I wanted to speak to related to that, because that leads me into from there. You had all this success. You were doing you extremely fit, good looking younger man at that time, doing your
Mhm.
thing. And so lead me into what were the details related to the accident. What year are we talking about at this point?
Right. Well, I've been training all my life, and this accident happened about 7 years ago, 2016, July 23rd, 2016, Saturday morning. The details leading up to that, because I don't remember the exact details, but it was a Saturday morning. It was a car accident, one car accident, myself and I, and all I remember is waking up in the hospital in a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of pain. I didn't even know my leg was gone at the time.
Wow.
Because you just because I've got a lot of injuries throughout my body now. I still have follow-up appointments as well as specialty physicians that I see still having to, work on healing certain wounds that are still being worked on from the accident. Then as well, losing that left, I think I skipped over that part. I
Okay.
lost my left leg.
Right.
My left leg above my hip. As a personal trainer, as you need pretty much all your limbs, gainful personal trainer, right?
Right. Right.
And so when I woke up and noticed and finally realized that I didn't have no leg, that was a pretty another hard pill to swallow because because it was what 2 or 3 weeks after I came out that coma when I finally realized I didn't have a leg. I was in the hospital for about 9 months, and I was in the coma for probably about a month. So about a month and two,
Wow.
3 weeks when I found out I didn't even have a leg, they had
Wow.
to amputate that because of a clot that they couldn't figure out where it was starting or beginning to injure me. My ankle all the way to my knee, to my hip, and then above my hip they had to cut.
Oh my
and
gosh. Yeah.
finally was able to find and get that circulation going throughout my body so that I could be able to live.
Wow. Wow, brother. Now, just a few more details about the actual accident. So this
Mhm.
was what in what state did this take place in? Was this here in Oklahoma?
Yes, right here in Oklahoma, man. Oklahoma highways.
Okay, and
It was a
then
one car accident.
so in was this morning, evening, afternoon? What?
It was a Saturday morning,
Okay.
summer. So I was on my way back to my gym, and my clients had clients waiting on me. Actually, it was about five. Accident happened about 5:30. My first client was at 6 o'clock, so I never showed up to the gym.
Yes. And what kind of
Clients,
car were you driving, and what was it a semi truck that hit you, or what was the
no,
driver?
I was driving a 2000 Toyota Corolla,
Okay.
just a car that I just purchased probably 2 days before that.
Wow.
My first time really driving it, right?
Hmm.
And and it was Saturday morning. I have no clue of what happened.
Yeah.
I was told it's a one car accident. I just wavered off the highway into a ravine and
Okay.
got the car smashed up, got my body smashed up. An innocent bystander was driving by and saw me in the crash and called emergency services, and then they came and helicoptered me up out of there. You?
Okay. Got you. So there was you weren't hit by anyone. Got you.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. And so then you, like you said, you were in a coma for a month, had no idea. So that's the interesting part about just digging into that a little bit, just in terms of like I had a recent surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and because I think I shared with you, I was recently hit by a drunk driver.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, I had a surgery where I had to be put under, and it's kind of that they give you the anesthesia and then they count down 3, 2, 1, and I mean you're just out, and
No.
literally hours can go by and you have no real concept of like time. It just seems like 1 minute you just blink your eyes and the next minute you're awake and
That's how it
in a
is.
totally different location. Was that what that experience was like for you, or did you have any mental recollections going on while you were in this coma?
Man, in the coma, it was pretty crazy because you're in the coma. Mine was more of an induced coma, from my understanding as well. So you have a lot of hallucinations, and I think this is the arena where people say like I was walking into the afterlife. It really is a lot of hallucinations we go through because it's either induced or your mind, your body shuts you down and puts you there. And so I hallucinated a lot from my memory, from what I was. I was like, "Well, did this happen?" And they say, "No, that must have been you, coma, thinking that this is." And I had a whole, yeah, my illusions, the hallucinations I had were none of them really seemed good. I'm hoping that afterlife stuff isn't the real truth, because if they were, I wasn't where I
Well,
didn't
you
have
silly. That's funny,
probably
man.
100.
I mean,
I didn't have 1,000, not 1,000, but I had over 100 surgeries, man. But it was just during the coma, I hallucinated.
can you
But
give us a small taste of what one of those was like just briefly?
man, it's just really, you know what I'm saying? Something, yeah, a little PG rated, PG being
No, talk to us.
inside a hospital though, and being restrained, arms and legs being restrained, and a dark figure just looking over me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
And I couldn't move like that. Dark figure above me looking over, and with a cricket smile, and sometimes laughing. And I was just stuck, like I was strained down, chained down, all fours.
Yeah.
Well, not all fours, just on my back with my
On your back.
legs and arms extended out, and I couldn't get out, couldn't move.
All
You
right.
know, that was one very vivid hallucination right there.
Gotcha. Interesting, brother. Interesting. We might have to resume, come back on another podcast and do
Uh,
that. But yeah, so yeah, but that's fascinating information. I mean, fascinating insight related to that. So moving past the accident, you out of the coma, you realize that you have now lost your leg. left leg, correct, all the way up to
Right
your hip.
above my
What
hip.
what thoughts began to come to mind for you, and what was the process of healing and recovering from that?
Well, you go through a whole lot of dark, dark times, real dark times, because you're first, you're sitting there unable to do for yourself. You think you're going to be unable to find any gainful employment for yourself. You think that you're going to be a hindrance to any and everybody you come across. And you're almost to the point, why am I even here? Why? Why? You're questioning everybody, including God. And you're almost screaming, just take me out. I ain't trying to stay here because
Right.
there's too much pain as well. All that on top of being at a level 10 pain when the levels is only 1 through 10, right? So you sit there and you're really questioning yourself why you were still here. And you're thinking in your mind that there's nothing you can't think there's nothing you can do. You ain't saying because you're not really trying, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're sitting there and you're screaming, I can't do this and I can't do that. And why me? And all the whys and all the can'ts. You go from anger to hate to disappointment. You go through all the negative things, right?
Right.
With me being that I was a personal trainer, and it's almost like I just one day just felt tired of crying so much. And this was probably about another month after me waking up out that coma, month and a half maybe. And I was realizing that I gotta stop.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I've been trying to tell my clients all my life.
Ain't no can.
At first, that didn't work as successfully as I thought because there were still times that I felt like I can't. But within a due time, I began to finally really double down and look at myself and think of what I can do versus what I can't do.
Sure.
And that's one of the things I drum down with my testimony to people because we go through serious traumas and we lose a lot and we fall down, we suffer setbacks,
Yes.
we have pains as you grow, growing pains, right?
Yes.
When we have them things, if we sit there and focus on what we have no control over, you don't want to focus on the part you have no control over. You don't want to look at what you can't do, what you can do.
Right. Right. Right.
That's what I started telling myself over and over. I started doing a little bit of here and may
Now,
live out there.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, brother. And one of the things that and this is a difficult topic or a difficult question, but I think it's necessary for us to talk about these, or at least address it to some level. When you're in those deepest, darkest times, one of the thoughts that you talk about, when you say like, "Why me, Lord?" or "Why do I have to go through this?" and you're doing all of this questioning of why, just why. And so, and essentially, I think part of that, it leads to like you said, why am I even here? And the potential of the suicidal thought creeps in. Was that something that you had to deal with? And if so, how deeply did you have to wrestle with that?
That you go through that there as well. You know, you go through that because you think that this life just has nothing else for you to offer. Myself, I went through it feeling upset and anger with my loved ones that they would even let something like this happen. I started blaming, and I started trying to point towards them. How selfish could they be? In actuality, I was the one being selfish with that thought because you could never expect a loved one to say, "Yeah, just let him go." They're not their job to think about how you're going to get through it. It's their job to do their best to help you get through it.
Yes.
And I was so angry and upset. Why would you think about letting me live in such a condition?
Wow.
So I was throwing hurdles at them, and then, I mean, obviously, I couldn't move or do nothing. So my suicidal thoughts wouldn't lead to nothing because it was just, I could barely lift my arm. Like, rather just dying, yes. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to start get my strength back.
Yes.
Just getting regular function. I had to talk to myself in my throat for 2 months.
Wow.
So that's how weak my whole body was.
Yes.
You go through that there, but yeah, it was some
Yeah, brother.
hard
Yeah,
days. Yeah.
yeah. And that's I'm thank you for really climbing back into that place. It's something that I think this culture, this we don't talk about these things, in my opinion, enough. We're so
Mhm.
in talk just there's just a lot of conversations happening that I don't think really deal with these things. What happens
Mhm.
to you in your deepest, darkest, most moments. And I know that on some level I've actually gotten some criticism for focusing on content like this, but I just know that this is where I felt my passion, my interest
Most
live.
definitely. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of things going on there, and I'm just not sold on that all this there is to life is just about making money and making TikTok videos.
Right.
So I
Mhm.
think these conversations are important. I know for me personally, some of the things, challenges related to my bankruptcy, my divorce, the house fire that I had, and
Mhm.
I want to say it was right when I was indicted by the federal government that
Right.
I started to not only was the indictment, but it was the realization that I was going to prison. At that point, I saw no real purpose in living any further. Some people were trying to encourage me and say, bro, man, there's people that have gone to prison and come out and done like exceptionally well. They're killing it. And
Days,
yeah. And it was crazy because I actually knew a lot some of those people or that they were talking about or just had read stories about people who went to prison and came out and just did extremely well after that. But for me, I just never thought that I was going to be that guy going headed to
Yeah, you're gonna be that individual comes and reading or knowing about them individuals.
yeah. So when it came to me, I'm just like I don't know. I just don't see myself. I just don't have a framework to really see that at this point. So all I can
That's a
see
good
is the
point.
5 years I'm getting ready to do in the joint. And
Uh-huh.
this is just not a comfortable place or space for me. Yeah. Now rewinding, now I was released in 2016 and it's 2023 now, 7 years later. Things have dramatically turned. I'm experiencing a life that I did not even know on any level that I would experience, doing things that I had no idea when I was going through those trials and
Mhm.
tribulations that I would be doing now. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing that you could go from the depths of hell and back into grace and glory and a great experience once again. So it's amazing when I will speak on faith what God can do or
There you
will
go,
do in
right
terms
there.
of turning your life completely around. So
We
let's get
appreciate
into
you,
the
brother. Uh-huh.
more optimistic because I know you all about next level. You about taking it even further. You inspire me with your motivational 100 push ups, 100 sit ups.
Forward thinking, positive moving. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
So you started at some point turning this around. Like I got to get myself together. I either got to get this myself together or I can start getting myself together.
Right.
What what then becomes the blueprint for your success from that point on?
Well, coming out the coma, and then just the blueprint really was me. Stop blaming, stop the blame game, stop crying, and just start working. Started work what I can do. And the thing of it is that I had so much help,
Okay.
family, friends, even clients and college colleagues. They was pushing and saying, and they was believing in me before I could even believe in myself.
Okay.
And so I steady hearing them with their positive, motivational time to keep them positive thoughts in your mind to heal. Come on. They wouldn't let me just float off into talking about something I can't do. This is too hard. No, they wasn't. They literally physically was keeping me from even speaking that way. And this is the transition of time.
Hmm.
This is time when I was still trying to fight it and saying and crying about what I couldn't do. And so I started getting frustrated with myself, crying to them because they trying to push me. And I was saying that was me pushing them, per se, my clients and whatnot.
Yes.
And so once I realized that, and once I turned that around in my mind, not to say it wasn't hard, because I still had the same challenges and obstacles that I had to either get over, get used to, or find another way. And that's what I started doing. I started
Okay.
focusing on all the cans, the blueprint that I specifically tell somebody what you can do, no matter how minimum that might be. Because you crying about something you can't do ain't furthering it.
Got you. Got you.
Pushing it back,
Now,
pushing it back.
yes. So the journey started what, 2016, same year of recovery.
Right at the end of that
And
year.
so you're going through probably physical therapy, multiple doctor's appointments, things that way.
Well, I was in the hospital, so yeah, they rolled me emergency, not emergency, piloted me to another hospital or to another surgery unit because everything wasn't just right there at OU neither. But
Got you.
that's why I was a patient. I either got transferred through the hallways or thrown up inside of the back of a med van that you'd always see these things rolling down the highway. They get patients in there, getting them to another spot. I
That's
was
right.
one of the patients.
Got
You
you.
know what I'm
Got you.
saying?
Got you.
6, 9 months, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you went from prior to the accident, what you were weight wise, about 100 and or 200.
Well, I was 170. I fluctuate between. I wasn't necessarily your Hulk Hogan personal trainers. I was very fit though. You know what I'm saying? Very
Okay.
healthy.
Okay.
So I was about 165, 170. Yeah, full body fat.
Right.
I was pretty much so 5'8", so you get an idea it was. And then this accident happened at my lowest that I recall was told I was 89 pounds. And understand this is without a leg, but still 89 pounds is a very old, fragile looking heel.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I look like death. I was to say so myself.
Yes.
So,
89 pounds. That's what, 70, 80 pound loss there.
yeah, half
So
my weight gone
half your weight.
like that.
That's unbelievable, brother. That's unbelievable.
I
So
was skin and bones, man. I was
yes, wow. I can't
like
even imagine. So you're recovering, you're in therapy. Talk to me or talk to us about, like, when was the breakthrough when you kind of went from this 89 pound, 90 pound version of yourself to now you're like starting maybe to see some of your strength come back, some semblance of your health coming back. When, from your recollection, when did that happen, and about how long did it take you to get to that place, that point?
it took me about a year to start being able to come to my own gym. So up until then, I was still very like 110. In the hospital, I finally got to maybe 108, 19, 110.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still very weak. I was able to hobble along on some crutches. That's about it. So after that, getting to my gym, after 6 months to a year, I was able to really start working on because I have a daily morning challenge. I used to love to do it. And that was something that I said that was one of my goals. That was one of my first goals. And I do 100 reps of each exercise, let it be squats, lunges, crunches, push-ups. But getting back to the gym, obviously I had to find another way to do some of them exercises, per se the lunges. So I was like, I'm gonna I introduced dips.
Okay.
So my goal was I said, I'm going to get to 100 push-ups, dips, 100 pull-ups, and 100 one-legged squats.
Ooh,
That probably took me about a year and a half.
a year and a half. Okay.
Keeping on pushing. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
I had someone to help, either friends, family, or clients, because just navigating through the gym, I needed that help.
Gotcha.
But steady pushing it, that mental of I can, I can, I can, I kept telling myself.
Yes.
Get some water.
You're good.
Yeah. So I would say it took me close to 2 years before I really was able to get in this gym.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I still be having a cough. And that thing is COVID related, far from COVID.
Okay.
From that trek that I had
Oh my goodness.
Had to atrophy so many throat muscles,
Throat
man.
muscles. Yeah.
So even talking like now, outside the coughing whenever these coughing spells hit me and boom. But even up to a year, year and a half,
Hmm.
I whispered when I talk. We have a soft voice.
Yes.
So imagine whispering and people could barely hear you because I didn't have the voice strength.
To do
I
so.
didn't have the lung capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that took a while to finally. It was like the more you feed, because I couldn't eat that much, nowhere
Gotcha.
near like what I could eat before the accident. Wasn't nothing for me to eat 5,000, 10,000 calorie meals. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh, wow. Putting it down. Yeah. Yeah.
saying? Now I'm lucky to eat 5,000, 10,000 calories a week.
Weak. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Even though now I'm eating a lot more than I was then,
Okay.
I'm still not at the point where I sit back and man, I used to be able to knock down a 32-ounce bone-in ribeye,
Hmm.
16 rolls. You know what I'm saying? Couple of sides, like it ain't nothing.
That's right. That's right. So tell me. So now, fast forward. I guess we're talking about 2016 to 2018 or 19
Mhm.
took you to kind of get back into the gym,
Right.
start seeing your weight push up. So now we're in 2023. Tell me, like currently, what is your current weight and what is your current health status? And from the time that you came to the gym, do you feel like you have gotten better? You're pretty much the same or gotten worse?
Well, like I said, in the hospital, I got up to about 108, 110. And here in the hospital, I mean, here in the gym, since I've been in the gym, I've gotten up to about 130, 130 pounds at the height. Because you got to understand, I was at home, but I had to have someone stay with me for about at least the first 5 years. So last 2 years, I've been on my own.
Okay.
But up until then, my mom had to stay with me. And with her cooking the way she cooked is how I got up to 130 pounds. So that was my heaviest.
Okay.
Right now, looking at me, I'm like 120. And
Okay.
that's I fluctuate around at 120, 125. How much I feed myself. Because eating now, I eat a lot more healthier. My mom was cooking them soul food dishes every day. And I'm sitting here eating it, even though I'm telling Mom, I can't eat this kind of food. Too much fat, too much salt.
Right, right.
So, but Mom's that
Nah,
there.
nah, nah. I can't do that. Right.
Good. With her there, I got up to that 130, 130. Easily 133 sometimes, I think so. But once she left, I dropped down 15 pounds that
Right.
fast.
That fast. Gotcha. Gotcha. And so this 125 weight gain, in terms of what you're getting advice, medical advice from your doctors, is that a good weight for you to be in? Is that lower than what you feel like you need to be given everything? And
Sexuality, I was going to get into that there as well. My health status outside my limitations. These are just limitations now, but my health status is pretty good. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? I'm able to sustain all the vitals that I need to sustain. I'm eating enough protein. I'm getting enough carbohydrates. I'm getting enough fat. Make
okay,
sure I'm eating a well balanced meal so my immune system can stay stable, keeping my blood sugar stable, keeping cholesterol low,
good.
and keeping the blood pressure in line. So with all that, I'm pretty healthy, just given my limited abilities. You know.
Yes. Well, yeah, man, that's awesome. So from beginning to end, we'll just say where you are now, 7 year process, back in the gym, back running your gym, back at a healthy, good weight for given the current situation.
Mhm.
And do you feel restored?
That's something I don't know if I've ever really thought about. He said it's almost like when I would answer that like I would say not necessarily restored because restored I feel is something that I'm always going is trying to fulfill mentally, even mentally, physically and restored because I know that there's a lot that I'm still wanting to be able to do.
Gotcha.
And there's things that I still need to accomplish. I still feel as if I'm always restoring myself.
Okay.
I feel like any individual that's trying to set any kind of goals and are always seeking to be take it to the next level
Yes.
are always restoring yourselves.
That's right.
That's
Hmm.
that's my answer to that. So yeah, I would say the answer to that, not know in a negative kind of way, but know in a positive kind of thinking that I'm steady always trying to get to the next level.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I'm back in my gym. I'm working. I'm not working nowhere near the schedule I had pre-injury.
Okay.
Time allowance alone,
Yes.
as well as energy levels.
Gotcha.
But I'm able to live on my own and be independent. So, with that being said, I'm able to maintain that. But is there another level I'm trying to get to?
Man, thank you for locking in on this podcast on the episode. But I also want to give people an opportunity that are watching to, if for any reason, if they want to reach out to you for, I don't know, do you offer a one-on? You said you offer one-on-one coaching at your gym and professional coaching as well. And again, give us some your social
Online as
media
well.
platforms. Yes.
And they can reach me on email, PT as in personal trainer underscore four, the numeral four underscore U as in umbrella at Hotmail.
Yeah,
It's
already
always
got that,
works.
people. I already gave them a hard time, so you can you don't have
And
to
then
give it to them in the comments.
I got my social media, and I got my social media, my ID, which is Mr. Next Level Fitness, and Facebook, Thomas Hill.
Okay.
They can contact me at one of them. And yes, I do offer motivational speaking, professional services as in online training. And if they're in Oklahoma City, Edmond area, I do offer one-on-one gym training services as well as group and boot camp.
Okay, and we'll have for everybody. We'll have links in the description for you to reach out to them on that note. And definitely with the motivational speaking, this brother is the real deal. He will inspire any audience that you put him in front of, and his testimony is so deep and powerful of the things that he's overcome. That absolutely reach out to him and support him in that way. But to heal, as always, man, much love to you, my brother, man. Thank you for the time and energy that you share with us today. And for everybody watching and locked in right now, as always, don't let your setbacks stop you from your success. We out of here. Peace.